Earth signs, it looks as though a situation is going to suddenly become very fruitful and abundant for you this week. Now, it feels as though it is something stemming from your past, maybe some very fond wishes or hopes that you had in the past that didn't quite pan out, because this is the card of nostalgia, and we've got the beginnings of something that could have grown into something big. And yet the death cards seem to put an end to it. So it feels like something that you're now looking back on with sort of fond, almost regret about what might have been. Because, yeah, something didn't happen. And yet there might still be, look, this glimmer of hope is what it feels like for this week ahead. So something might just come back out of the past for you. And it might ride in pretty quickly with information racing in. This is a change of scene that gives you a new perspective, news, or new ideas about things. Not very eloquent today, am I? But it is going to bring a lot of joy and happiness, and I can just feel the heart kind of leaping with excitement about what this situation is. But here's the interesting part of this energy. The field at play is your 12th house of your subconscious mind, and Mercury is indicated there, the planet of communication. So it feels as though this Pisces part of your chart, the 12th house of the subconscious, you either might be getting a lot of intuitive information, you're being urged to listen to your intuitive guidance system, or you may be brought face to face with your subconscious thoughts that are limiting you and holding you back, and maybe what choked off this opportunity in the past. Some fears, essentially, to use shorthand there, fearful thinking. So that might be worth bearing in mind as an element of what is going on here, because despite all this excitement, this rush of energy, this is sort of like traveling in a new direction very suddenly, being seized with this great idea and this great joy, and yeah, it could be romance even. There is also the card of going within. It's going to be very important. Now, this is not a card of acting. It's not a card of being in a group of people or being, even one-on-one with someone else. This is very much about going within. So are you coming face to face this week with whatever is lurking in your 12th house, your subconscious, that may have been holding you back? Maybe you get this new inspiration here about the ways you've self-sabotaged in the past, and it suddenly unlocks this opportunity for all this joy. Or there is the need to, in spite of all of this exciting joy, to take a moment, to take a step back and go within and really get to the truth of what is going on here. Is it everything it seems? Your energy to lean away from is racing into something. So you might be seized with all this passion, seized with all this great feeling, but it really is time not to look, time not to leap before you look, is what I was trying to say. So don't just race in and jump headfirst into something exciting. That's not really what you want to do here. This is about using your judgment. That's the energy to lean towards. And yes, this is a big wake-up call when that judgment is basically the angel's trumpet sounding from the heavens that wakes people up into a new reality. And so you really want to make sure you are tuned in and hearing that wake-up call before you launch into anything. Now that's because the cosmic pep talk here is that nothing is yet set in stone. So something might feel very concrete and like, yes, I can take this to the bank. This is my hopes and dreams from the past being revived, and the time is now. But yeah, it might not go the way you hope it will. So there's just this kind of slight note of caution here. Not caution, it's restraint. It's sort of being patient and taking your time. But look, this is all part of your shamanic journey. This is part of your quest. It feels like it's the culmination of something that maybe has been a long time coming. So whatever it is, Embrace this whole experience as being part of your journey. And whether this situation leads to fruition or not, your ultimate attainment is going to be even better than you can imagine. So what it might be is that this situation is a harbinger of what is to come. So you might get all excited about the abundance of whatever this is that is coming in for you. However, there might be something that is 1,000 times better on the horizon, and this is just the first kind of glimmer of what you can achieve. So I don't know, it's going to be different for everybody, and you will have to interpret these energies in a way that resonates for you. But there is a very bright future ahead of you when you complete your journey, and it just feels like it is very close now. And now let's look at the energy around all signs for the week ahead. Unfortunately, no matter what your sun sign energy was, this energy is all about splitting away from people who, or places, or even ideas that aren't really working for you anymore. There seems to be some toxicity in the mix. This might be just within you for a process of, healing and improvement by yourself, leaving toxic things in the past. So you can listen to this reading through that lens. Or if you are in a couple, it seems as though there's some work to do here, and there may even be a split coming up with a bright side on the other end of that. But first things first, I'll show you the cards as they came out. So it is the Lovers, relationship. Escaping toxicity is what this card represents. It is actually that same couple being chained to a situation that just isn't working out. But because it's in reverse, it's about freeing yourself from the situation and embracing the idea that you might have some disappointment here. There is spilt milk in this situation. But the good news is there is true love waiting for you once you heal from this. As I say, this could be an internal process for your own psychology, so just bear that in mind. But if this is a couple, it feels like one of you is all for committed love and really gung-ho about it, while the other party is feeling withholding in a way, not really wanting to go all in on you. And they've got the big maybe card that came out. This card's interesting. They think you're too good for them. And my cheeky little note under there is, and they are probably correct. Now, I don't know if that's true in all cases. Obviously, take it as it resonates for you. These cards are kind of jumping off points. But there is something in their subconscious, if it's about a couple, where they don't feel as though you guys are on the same page, and it may be to do with their own self-sabotage. So it's not a reflection of you, and it's not that you're too good for them, but in their sort of operating system, there's a bug or a gremlin that is just kind of unpicking things and making them keep themselves at bay because they don't want to go all in. They're afraid of something, or they're self-sabotaging. But you are showing up as having very good instincts, which tells me that you already know what the situation is. You're already kind of dealing with it or in denial about it, but you know it's there and you're actively denying it. But this is saying, listen to your good instincts. The energy to lean away from here is trying to balance things out. It feels like bending over backwards to try and keep the peace here, juggling things. You're turning yourself into a bit of a pretzel to be what they want you to be. But if they've got self-limiting beliefs, it's a no-win situation here is what it feels like. The energy to lean towards is, again, this Devil card, getting out of the grips of a toxic situation. So as a couple, this could be your therapy cue that, to address whatever is bugging, is the bug in your, relationship operating system, is to deal with it and bring it to light so that you can workshop it and, help heal it. So that is one interpretation of this reading, but you know, there is a very strong element here of separation. Now, this is seeming to be played out with a lot of conversation around your security. What makes you feel secure? What makes the other person feel secure? Because Mercury is in the 4th house. That's the home base of your life in astrology. It's ruled by Cancer. It's very nurturing, motherly energy. It is what makes you feel safe. So you may have to have a lot of discussion or thought about what makes you feel safe, what makes your partner feel safe. For them, it's freedom, and for you, it is certainty of what exactly is happening. Then you are at odds, and there needs to be discussion around this. But the outcome here, whenever you're past this, is better than you can possibly imagine. So at the moment, you may feel really imprisoned in the darkness, underground, trapped and just not able to see any kind of positive future. But like this lava here, you are about to bloom and grow into this magnificent dragonfly and find a whole new realm of experience with these beautiful wings. You're able to fly. You don't have to dig around in the dirt anymore. So this future is awaiting for you. It is awaiting you. So look, I am very sorry to bring up these 3 picture cards. There is the empty nest here, knowing when it's time to move on from a situation that is not filling your tank any longer. Jack and Diane, the broken heart, split up card here, being let down, hurt, emotional pain. It is sort of a split up card, but there is emotional healing on the other side of this. This green, the emerald energy there is of the heart chakra. So it is bringing a lot of healing and regeneration and growth to your heart sphere. There is enrichment waiting for you if you can just extricate yourself from your relationship toxin. So as a unit, if you can split away or leave behind the toxic elements of your relationship, you can move together in this healing energy. But if you are sadly one of the people who is having to split up and move on, there is this enormous beauty and richness that is going to come to your emotional life better than you can even imagine. And you might not have any sense of this coming in, but you have to have faith that it will happen for you, that leaving a toxic situation, or not toxic as in like evil, but just a situation that doesn't fill you up, won't leave you empty-handed. There are gifts on the other side of this. And, you know, if someone is self-sabotaging and you're bending over backwards and feeling unworthy because of their issues, getting free is actually going to help you feel whole within yourself, because you are whole and there is no reason to be bending over backwards to accommodate somebody else's neuroses, if you like, the devil there. So you can be fully yourself in some way on the other side of this. So I hope that helps you, my darlings. If you'd like your own personal reading, go to my website, abundancelovejoy.com. But meanwhile, this is Sarah wishing you much abundance, love, and joy as you navigate this situation.